Welcome to English Learning Podcast with Jenna.
Here is a question that divides English teachers and language learners everywhere. Do you actually need to study grammar to speak English fluently? Some people say yes, absolutely. Grammar is the foundation. Without it, you are just guessing. Other people say no. Grammar study is a waste of time. Just listen and speak, and you will pick it up naturally. So, who is right? Today, I'm going to give you the honest answer, and it might surprise you. Let me start with something most grammar textbooks will never tell you. Native speakers do not think about grammar when they talk. Right now, as I speak, I am not thinking, okay, this is present continuous, so I need to use is plus verb plus ing. I'm just talking. The grammar is happening automatically, underneath the surface, without any conscious effort. How did that happen? Did native speakers all study grammar rules as children? No, they acquired grammar the same way they acquired everything else in their language, by hearing it thousands of times in natural context until it became instinct. That is a really important word. Instinct. Not knowledge, not rules, instinct. And that raises a big question. If grammar can become instinct without studying it, why do so many language courses make grammar the center of everything? Here's the honest truth about grammar study. Studying grammar rules gives you conscious knowledge. You learn that past tense regular verbs end in ed. You learn that questions need auxiliary verbs. You learn the difference between present perfect and simple past. And that knowledge is not useless. It can help you understand why something sounds wrong. It can help you edit your writing. It can give you a framework when you are completely new to the language. But conscious knowledge is not the same as fluency. Fluency means your language comes out automatically, in real time, without stopping to think about rules. And you cannot get there by memorizing rules alone. No matter how many grammar exercises you complete, that alone will not make you fluent. What actually makes you fluent is something different entirely. Think about a child learning to speak their first language. They make grammar mistakes constantly. They say things like, I goed to the park, or she don't like it. And nobody sits them down and teaches them the rule. Instead, they just keep hearing correct language around them. And slowly, naturally, their brain adjusts. The mistakes disappear. Not because they studied, but because they were exposed to enough correct input that their brain recalibrated on its own. This process happens in adults too. It is slower, yes, but it works the same way. When you read and listen to a huge amount of English at a level you can understand, your brain starts to internalize grammar patterns without you ever consciously studying them. You start to feel when something sounds right or wrong, not because you know the rule, but because you have heard enough English that the correct pattern just feels natural. That feeling is grammar, real grammar, the kind that comes out automatically when you speak. So, does this mean you should throw away your grammar book right now? Not exactly. Here's my actual answer. Grammar study is a tool, not a foundation. It works best in small doses, in specific situations, to help you understand something that's genuinely confusing you. If you keep making the same mistake over and over, and you can't figure out why, looking up the rule can help. If you're writing something important and you want to double-check a structure, grammar knowledge is useful. If you're a complete beginner and you need a basic framework to make sense of what you're hearing, a little grammar study can give you a head start. But if grammar study is taking up most of your English learning time, that's a problem, because every hour you spend doing grammar exercises is an hour you're not spending listening to real English, speaking, reading, and building the kind of exposure that creates real fluency. The learners who improve the fastest are almost never the ones who study the most grammar. They're the ones who consume the most English, who listen the most, who speak the most, who read the most. Grammar comes along for the ride. It fills in quietly in the background as your exposure to real English grows. So here's the practical answer for where you are right now. If you're a beginner, a little grammar study at the start is fine. Learn the very basics so you have a rough map of the language. Then put the grammar book down and start consuming as much real English as you can. If you're intermediate or advanced and you're still spending a lot of time studying grammar, stop. Your time is better spent on input and output. Read more, listen more, speak more. Let your ear tell you what sounds right. And when a specific grammar point is genuinely confusing you, look it up, understand it, then go back to your real English input and let that understanding become instinct over time. Grammar is not the enemy, but it's not the destination either. The destination is fluency, the ability to understand and speak English naturally, automatically, without stopping to think about rules. And that comes from exposure, from practice, from time spent with real English in all its messy, fast, natural, beautiful form. Study grammar a little, use it as a tool, but never let it become the thing you spend most of your time on, because language lives in real use, not in rules on a page. That's it for today. If this changed how you think about grammar and English learning, share it with someone who's stuck doing grammar exercises and wondering why their English isn't improving. And drop a comment below. Have you ever felt like grammar study was holding you back instead of helping you? Tell me your experience. I want to hear it. See you in the next one.